In this video, we're going to show you how to install the downstream O2 sensor on your Kia Sorento, located below the exhaust manifold. Now from up top, with the hood open, we're going to come around right beside our upstream O2 sensor connector is going to be our downstream O2 sensor connector. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow that connector over to the heat shield area, and there's a little metal tab or hook here. We're going to open that up and pull that out. Next we want to do is go ahead and grab this connector, and we need to pull it off of this bracket. So go ahead and wiggle that out and away. And ours pretty much just crumbled and broke off. Pieces of plastic everywhere. But that's okay because we're replacing it. Now we want to go ahead and separate the connector, or the two connectors here. If you rotate this around, there's a spring clip right here. You're going to push in on that and pull this apart. There it is. Take that O2 sensor harness, run that around, and if you follow this down, it brings you right into the back side here. That's where your downstream O2 sensor is, behind or below the exhaust manifold. Now right here we have a socket that is designed for your O2 sensors. It's a split socket. This is a 7/8 or a 22 millimeter. And it allows for you to put this over, and that harness will come through. Now I want to try and loosen this here. Now sometimes when doing a job like this here, you may have to apply a little bit of heat to the flange where the O2 sensor goes into. You might be able to use a little bit of MAP gas to go ahead and do so. Good, remove that. Now go ahead and grab your new O2 sensor, and you need to pull off the protective cover here. Now you're gonna notice that there's some anti-seize compound around the threads here. Whatever you do, you wanna prevent any of that from getting on the sensor itself. Now we're gonna go ahead and lower this down and start to thread this in. Once you get that started, I want to go ahead and put our socket on there. Now as we're putting this in, you can see that that wiring harness wants to spin around with this. What we need to prevent from happening is this harness from binding up, pulling on those wires. So we can feed this around as we go. Now you're gonna get to the point where it starts to snug, and you're gonna feel the crush washer, the seal gasket, start to collapse. And then boom, it's nice and tight. It just won't spin anymore. You know that you're fully seated. You can also inspect right around the base here where that goes into. You can see that there's no more room between that crush washer and that flange itself. Then we can go ahead and run the wire up, and we're basically going to reinstall into the harness up above. So feed your wire up. And reconnect or connect this here. Line that up, push it in. You should feel it click into place. I'm going to go ahead and slide this back onto the bracket. Once that's pushed on, you can go ahead and take that harness and put it back into the harness retainer right here on the exhaust manifold shield, the heat shield. Push it down inside, bend that over, hold it in. Okay, now at this point, if you happen to have a check engine light on inside the vehicle due to this O2 sensor, you want to go ahead and use a scan tool, properly clear that code, and then go for road test, and at that point there, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.